name is Hayley Nixon. I'm 37 years old. I'm a wife, I'm a mom to a 4-month-old baby girl, and I am a Surfski world champion. From a really young age, I wanted to be an Olympian. That was my dream as a child. And of course, that would have involved being a pro athlete. I always thought I had the potential, and I certainly had the desire to want to be an Olympian and to want to be a professional. My goal was to go to the Olympics for swimming. It definitely didn't happen. Things changed, things evolved. I got really close getting to the Olympics for the South African rowing team in 2012, but unfortunately didn't make the final cut a few months before. But I would say I did achieve my goal, and that was to become world champion of a sport. It just wasn't the sport I thought of, it was the sport of surfski. I don't know if that decision is really as conscious as you think it is to actually be a pro athlete. The sports that I've done have never been completely professional sports, they're semi-professional sports. But I would say around about 2018 I made the decision that I needed to commit myself fully, even if I was still a semi-professional athlete having to earn my way. The only way to achieve the goals I wanted to achieve would be if I could actually race anywhere and everywhere in the world whenever I needed to. And that decision came after winning the World Championships and realizing that I had a lot of potential in the sport, and I needed to give it 110% if I was going to achieve the goals I wanted to within the sport over the next 2-3 years. So, strictly speaking, my first professional competition was when I was quite young, around 23 years old for rowing. But I wouldn't really say that was professional in the sense of it being my sort of job or my main career. I think my most important professional race, and certainly the first one that got me onto the world circuit, was 2016. And the reason for that is I'd had to get sponsors on board to fund me, so there were investors involved, and it meant that I was finally on the world stage, not just as part of a team, but as me as an individual. And with that comes so many emotions: anxiety, fear, you're nervous, but in the same breath you're also so proud because you've got yourself there and you've managed to convince people to back you, or you're good enough that people do back you. So you're racing for them, you're racing for yourself, you're racing for your country. It's pretty overwhelming, but it's also probably some of the best memories I have. For me, to achieve basically means to succeed. And success is so relative to each individual, but also to the task at hand. So for me, to achieve means that you've gone out, you've set yourself a goal, and you've achieved that goal. You've been successful within whatever the parameters were to ticking that box. It's not easy. It takes a lot of self-discipline. There's a lot of sacrifice, and it's generally not only from you as the athlete, but it's from your family, your partner, maybe your parents. And it takes a lot of time. I think people think it comes easily. They look at a champion on the top of a podium and they think, oh, that's so easy, I could do that next week or next year, but it's not. It's often taken many years. So I think self-discipline, patience, and support from your family around you, but also from the bigger community around you as well. It's definitely a team effort. I think the biggest low point in my career was not making the Olympics in 2012. I came so close. Literally a few months out of the Olympics, I was still in the runnings to be in the boat. And to lose out on that, and then to have to reset, like, who was I if I wasn't Hayley the rower going to the Olympics, or hopefully Hayley the Olympian? So I think what was most important in what I did is I went home, I reset, I gave myself some time off, I wasn't too hard on myself, and I tried to use the time, I suppose, like dealing with any tragedy, to deal with why it happened and how I could come back from it. And I think the next thing that came my way, which was hugely important, was motivation to do something else. I found a new goal and I got stuck into that. And I think that's important because motivation and having something to get up for in the morning is so powerful, and it can help you get over something, but in my case it also led me to the best chapter of my life. I definitely believe that women can have it all and they should have it all. As men and women, it should be equal. So for women, we are faced with the task of, at some stage in our career, we may choose to want to have a family, to want to have a baby. And I'll tell you firsthand, it's been really hard. I think in many ways I've felt quite rejected and sort of left out by my sponsors or by the lifestyle I used to have, purely because I've chosen to have a child. But there's no reason that I can't come back, and there's no reason that if we have the right support in place, we as women can have it all. We can still be the athlete we were before, or even a better athlete once we've started a family. But it's going to take support, and that's emotional support, that's physical support to help get you back to where you were or get you to where you want to go. And it's also financial support. So yes, absolutely we can have it all. We've just got to know what we want and find the right team to help us get there. I think as a sportswoman, what I've faced the most, and I've discussed a lot throughout my career, is getting media time. I think as women, we often aren't the first ones to be on the front of the newspaper or to be in the headlines. Often the focus is on males, and that's from years and years of history just treating sport like that. And secondly has probably been financial support. I think we often pay things forward. We're often so grateful for the help we get that we maybe don't quite ask for what we need, or maybe demand what we need and what we deserve. And I think that's something that's evolving as we go. Certainly coming through equal prize money, certainly coming through sponsors coming on board and supporting women the way they do support men. But it's really been a huge challenge in my career is to try and be recognized like the males I race against, so that I can also have longevity in the sport like they do. Definitely more of a cat-eye girl. I want to tell you that you can have it, that you can do it, that you need to go out and achieve what you've set yourself out to do. Don't be disillusioned by naysayers or people telling you that you're a female and you don't deserve it. You do deserve it. And like I've said a few times today, find the team that supports you, decide what you want to do, be disciplined, and go out and make it happen. Thanks so much.